This is Andy Whittle from HowEFIWorks.com, and today I want to show you how to set up SD card data logging. If I open Tuner Studio, and you can tell it's connected because you're getting white gauges. If I go to data logging and SD card data logging, here is the settings for SD card logging. If you notice at the top right corner, I have it set up for trigger. What that means is based on whatever's in this box, it will start logging anytime the RPM is above RPM greater than some RPM. I've got mine set up for 100. Basically, my motor cranks at about 250 RPM. So anytime the motor's cranking, I am data logging. I have an LED indicator turned off. It is possible to put an indicator on the dash if you like to. I always go to log data block size 128 on the newer ECUs. That's any of the MS Pro series. I also like to go under sample interval MS. I go on any motor that is like an autocross motor, drag race motor, anything for short periods of time. I set that to 5.0, which gives in the box or in the area right below that frames per second of 200 frames per second. That's a little fast if you're driving on the street. You'd probably set that more to, instead of a 5, is 20 milliseconds. And if you move off that box, that would give you 50 frames per second. So I'm going to put it back to 5. You'll see it jump back to 200 frames per second. And log file I've got set for 10 minutes maximum. It just depends what you're doing, what's a reasonable number. Set the SPI COM speed to faster. And trigger pulse is off. And the left side is all the available fields you have for logging, and there's quite a few of them. They do change depending on what you have activated in your tune. But if, for example, you want map dot in your log, you just come over here and hit the arrow, and it automatically sends it over. On the right side is all the things that you are logging currently. And I will leave a list of the things that I'd like to have in the log. But I also, like for example, status 1 is missing in this log. So let's go ahead and put in status 1. We're going to add it. 5 and 6, I believe, are special reserved. But I'm going to go ahead and add 7 and 8. And burn. The one thing that you might want to notice is down at the bottom, there's required channels. If there is a required channel, it'll automatically send more than one channel. Don't worry about that. Sometimes you're trying to get rid of a channel and it won't disappear. It's because something else is causing it to keep it from removing it. If I hit close, that's pretty much all there is to setting up data logging. From then on, like in my setup, anytime I'm above 100 RPM on the starter, it will automatically start logging. If you want to see the data logs, come down to browse the SD card, and here are all the logs that I have on my SD card. I happen to have an MS3 Pro, so you can see a real-time clock in here, and this is the logs from September 15th, for example. You can sort by date or whatever you want to do.